Welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be talking about the best rest rituals to improve your energy levels. If you're interested in that, definitely stick around. All right, so in this video, we want to sort of go over the concept of rest rituals and just the idea of energy in general. Like, what is energy in your body, and how do you actually leverage the energy that you're generating pretty much all the time to get what you want, to do what you want to do. So let's talk about it. The rest ritual, as we talk about, it's part of the mindset portion of the core M3, right? Core M3 is your movement, your metabolism, and your mindset. And in your mindset, we break that down, those two core concepts, the elements of it, into rest rituals and rise rituals. What are you doing before you go to bed and while you're going to bed? And then when you wake up, what are you doing at that given point in time? Like, what are you thinking about, etc., etc. We use a simple, like a heuristic stack that really helps you understand the concept of how your thoughts become your lifestyle. Your first is when you have thoughts. Humans naturally tend to have anywhere between 50 to 60,000 thoughts per day. That's a lot. That's a lot, right? 60,000 thoughts per day. I can't even count that much if I wanted to, because it's just happening so fast. And as a result of that, some of those thoughts, or like a collection of thoughts, sometimes creates an action that you perform, right? So if you have a thought of picking up your phone, and then the action will be you actually doing the action of picking up the phone. And then of course, if you want to do more things on the phone, then you have some behaviors that you will eventually do, right? If you do this over and over and over, it becomes a behavior. And then eventually when that behavior, anywhere from like 6 months to a year, it actually becomes your habits. This is something that you naturally do now, right? This is just part of your habit stack that you do for other things. And so we create a lot of these. We create the positive ones and the negative ones. And our body, it's very interesting on how it sort of processes it. It only deals with pain or pleasure. All right, so every habit is one of those. It's either giving you pain or it's either giving you pleasure. And a lot of times we seek pleasure activities. A lot of habits are just pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. As a result, we're always fried from our dopamine and we feel like doing nothing. We're almost like numb to it. The thing is, that's the big issue. When we're actually going to sleep, we're not thinking about actually how to use our body to recover to its potential. See, if you're someone that's overweight, you have a lot of extra baggage around you, and you've been trying to figure out what to do next, what you need to realize is let's go ahead and optimize your sleep, because during that rest period, let's leverage your body to actually burn more fuel. So as you wake up, you actually have more energy for your day, versus if you were to eat 2 to 3 hours before bed, your whole night your body's going to be focused on processing that as food, and eventually you're just going to be storing that, because again, you're not doing as many activities. The fact that you're awake and you're moving around, what do you think that's going to do to your body? Your body's essentially going to be using energy all the goddamn time, and we want to be leveraging that as we keep doing this over and over and over, right? So we want to make sure that when you sleep 2 to 3 hours before bed, you do not eat anything. Don't eat anything. Figure out a way. If you could do it, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could do it. But for those of us that are extremely low willpower, right? And I don't want you to be, but if you are, then what you need to do is, okay, take baby steps. So instead of 2 to 3 hours, maybe you want to do 30 minutes before you go to bed, or an hour before you go to bed. Because at the end of the day, you know how you feel. I'm pretty damn sure many of you have experienced heartburn before, right? That's when that stress levels and the anxiety and the food that you're eating, that's a lot of processed food, all that acid refluxes back up into your esophagus and you feel that chest burning, which is AKA heartburn. My point is, your rest ritual is super duper important, because now once you are going from your sleep to from the wake to the sleep state, your body will now undergo like regeneration, rejuvenation, cleanup, right? It needs to do some spring cleaning because you did a lot during the day, and we need to process all that information, whether it be good or bad, so that your body can go ahead and wake up the next day and do whatever you wanted to do in the rise ritual. Which is why it's important the thoughts that you're having as well, right? So if you did fast for 2 to 3 hours before bed, and you do go to bed and you don't get that much stimulation before bed, right now is going to be that critical time, because you're actually going to be entering something called a hypnagogic state, right? This is when from the wake to the sleep is almost like a hypnosis period, and the thoughts you tell yourself, or the thoughts the things you're listening to, the things around you, whatever is being sort of injected into you, you start processing that. And so when you do go to sleep, what do you think you're doing? You're just processing it over and over and over. And so when you do wake up, you're gonna be thinking about this. And as a result of you thinking about this, you're just gonna go ahead and be like, all right, you know what? Maybe I'll take some actions on it. And as you take actions on it, then you realize, okay, is it positive or negative? And then what you're gonna realize, the majority of the things in life, the ones that are truly, truly positive, take a long time to get to positive, right? So in the beginning, it's sort of painful. For example, when you take a cold shower every morning, like why should you even? Like, what's the big deal? There's a lot of like controversy around it, but until you try it and you actually do it until therapeutic effects take over, you're just gonna be just like, okay, what's the point? Well, it's all BS. But when you do it, then you get that gradual gratification versus that instant hit of dopamine when you do an activity that gives you that pleasure versus long-term pleasure that you get slowly. Because if you get the pleasure right away, you're gonna have to come back down because our body isn't designed to operate at a high at all times. It has an equilibrium, but you go high highs and you can have low lows, and then you'll go all the way back up and down, up and down, up and down. That fluctuation is what prevents a lot of people from actually pushing their life to the limit because they get stuck in one of those extremes. With that being said, this ties into the energy levels, right? So when you are excited about things in life, your energy levels go off the roof. When you're depressed about life, your energy levels completely flatten, right? Like flat lines to a point where you have no more energy, which is why it's critical first you get your mind right. Everything in mindset we talk about is, okay, get your thoughts right, because those thoughts will lead to your action. Those actions will lead to your behaviors, which eventually will make habits for you. And those habits over time become part of your personality, right? Like it just becomes you. Multiple habit stacks become part of your personality. And then eventually decades go by, guess what? It becomes part of your lifestyle. You do this over and over and over and over again. And this is a big deal for a lot of us specifically in America, because we've put steroids on this situation and we made this worse for many of us. And it's something that I'm super concerned about. I'm sure if you're watching this in the future, then it's already here. If you're watching it in the whatever time period I upload this video, it might not be as severe, but many of you will be able to relate with this as well. Okay, with that being said, let's just recap the story. The way you sleep, what you do before you go to sleep is going to impact literally your next full day. Literally, the first half of your day will be affected by how you sleep. So it's critical that you think about your sleep as like a preparation for the following day versus an ending to your day. Because if you do see it an ending to your day, you still have to prepare for the next day, or unless like you wake up in the morning and you prepare. Majority of us have a difficult time because we have so many these tasks and errands that we do that it deters us from actually thinking about it logically and exactly knowing where to go. Cool, if you do want that energy, you know how to get it. If you found any value in this video, definitely like this video. Let me know, if you liked the video by giving me the thumbs up. But if you did not like the video, then dislike the video and then let me know in the comments, letting me know, okay, what can I do to improve? Because we're always iterating, we're always improving. Because again, we want to make this fun and enjoyable for everyone on this experience. With that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll let me know that you actually like the video, and it sort of motivates me seeing numbers go up. And then notifications, it'll let you know when the next video will pop off. So if you're interested in that, definitely go ahead and hit that notification bell. Other than that, I hope every one of you have an amazing day. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.